Leuven, Belgium. Home to one of the world's most advanced manufacturing labs, a shining beacon of technological know-how, helmed by a true technology pioneer, a professor who has reshaped the manufacturing landscape and boasts the most formidable title ever, Jean-Pierre Kruth, otherwise known as the Knight of the Laser Technology.
I've got the privilege to be the very first Knight of Laser Technology. You go on your knees and then someone takes a sword and just make you knight.
Kruth's ability to create complex metallic objects with lasers and special powder sounds like science fiction to the uninitiated, but it's a scientific reality realized by a field he helped create, called additive manufacturing. You might know it as 3D printing.
Typically, 3D printing begins with a computer-generated model. The geometric data are sent to a machine, which then fabricates the product, in this case, with thin successive layers of a liquid polymer. Tools, seamless aerodynamic structures, medical models for pre-surgical study, prosthetic limbs, and more. These things are now made more quickly and inexpensively, and in cleaner, safer production environments, in many cases because of Kruth's contributions to the technology.
Manufacturing industry was considered as something very old-fashioned, people working with grease in their hands and things like that. So not a very attractive manufacturing sector.
Kruth was inspired to help change this. By the mid-1980s, now a professor at KU Leuven, Kruth would get his chance with the arrival of the world's very first additive manufacturing process, stereolithography.
Objects designed with 3D software could be created with a system that builds them by printing successive layers of liquid polymers. But there were problems with this technique. For example, liquids tend to clump together, and individual layers could only be as thin as surface tension would allow. In other words, products produced by early machines were pixelated and lacked fine detail.
A subsidiary of the American Bell Company approached Kruth and challenged him to develop the technique into a form Bell could use in production. Kruth revolutionized the technology.
We developed a technique that we call the liquid curtain recoating system. That is just a kind of casting system making a kind of liquid film that falls down, and then by sweeping the casting head you can deposit a very regular thin layer of liquid.
The machine could produce plastic objects with fine, intricate detail.
Despite his success, Kruth wasn't satisfied.
It's nice that we can produce plastic components in an additive way, but why not trying to do that for metals?
But how? The temperatures and the surface tension of liquid metal make it unfit for the same liquid layering system used in stereolithography. Kruth and his Ph.D. students came up with an ingenious solution: metallic powder. And you guessed it, lasers.
We just deposit very thin layers of that powder material, layers about 30 micrometers, the same size as the particles, and then use a laser beam to just fuse those powder particles together to create solid material.
Kruth had achieved what was once impossible.
We achieved densities of 99.98%, which is not achievable by traditional techniques.
Because of Kruth, we have a better way of making things, denser and stronger than by traditional methods. Inexpensive 3D printers that utilize Kruth's technologies could soon be a fixture in homes worldwide. Additive manufacturing may, in the future, build human organ and bone replacements, make repair parts in space, or even construct low-cost homes.
Whatever I do, I like to see that what I do will benefit to the society. Will create jobs, will create new activities, will just not be research that remains within the walls of the university.
While society continues to benefit from his discoveries, Kruth continues researching and writing purely for knowledge and technological progress. And if this sounds like the hyperbole of fables, it takes only a few minutes with Jean-Pierre Kruth to realize that there may be some truth to yesterday's fiction. The Knight of the Laser Technology is the real deal.